Hi, so we're back together, Gino and I, but in a different location to show you a plant that is my nemesis because I'm allergic to it, but I have a great respect for it because I know it's the protector of the forest and a lot of natural habitats too. And that is, Gino, the infamous poison ivy. So what can you tell us about poison ivy?
Well, before we get to that, why did you call it a protector of the forest?
Well, I know it lives in disturbed areas and people like to stay away from it, so it keeps them out of some of our natural areas that they might otherwise go into. So I'm meaning protection from a lot of human interaction in some areas.
I'm glad you mentioned human interaction because this is one of the favorite foods of deer and birds.
Okay,
they eat the berries.
Okay.
Now this is going to turn into berry fairly soon. So here's your poison ivy. Let's have a good look at it. I'm going to point to this one sample right here. Do you see it?
Yep.
It's got 3 leaves. So what's that saying?
So leaves of 3, leave it be.
Right.
But I know right below it we've got some
strawberry.
and it also has those 3 leaves, and it's not detrimental.
Exactly.
So...
If you take a look at this plant here, which is strawberry, the leaves are symmetrical. If you look at poison ivy, you'll notice that the main leaf, the terminal leaf, is a little bit bigger, longer than the 2 side leaves. So that's one way of knowing that it's poison ivy. It also has a leathery texture to it, but it could be all sorts of colors. It could be red, it could be yellow, it could be green, as you see here, and it could be 30 feet long.
Oh, wow.
Going up a tree. It is an ivy. So the chemical component in here is something called urushiol. Now you see how I'm touching this? The urushiol is now embedded in the tip of the stick.
You're living
if I were to
dangerously.
touch that, I would get poison ivy.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what happens if you're walking through this, Deb, and you touch your pants? What happens?
So there's an oil on the plant that will
called
get onto you. Urushiol.
Urushiol. Yes.
Okay, urushiol. And some people will react within a couple of days.
Yes.
It takes a couple of days. People think when they're here, if they touch it, they're going to react right away, but it does take a couple of days.
Exactly. So how do you suppose we can get rid of the urushiol?
So I have heard that washing with a really strong soap, like lye or sunlight detergent or something like that, and the scrubbing that you do, the
hard scrub,
friction action of using a cloth or something to really scrub it off is important.
Yes, that's a very important point. So don't touch any clothing that's gone through a poison ivy patch. Wash the clothing in a strong soap, and if you do get it, if you do get poison ivy, one thing I would recommend is an antihistamine like Benadryl. Take it, it'll knock you out, it'll put you to sleep for a while, but it'll clear the blisters. Now, do you get poison ivy by touching the running source?
I know a lot of people think that, but that's more of the reaction to the poison ivy. That's your body kind of trying to cleanse itself almost.
Right,
so you'll get reinfected if you actually touch the plant again, or if you touch your clothes, if you have it on your pant legs, or your dog has the oils on it. You have to touch the oils again and have exposure to that to spread it.
So a farmer wants to clear a poison ivy patch. He'll come here and he'll burn this patch. He'll get rid of it. The urushiol becomes airborne. So now it's in the air. You're 2 kilometers down the road. Urushiol lands on you or on the farmer or whoever, and you'll get poison ivy. So you don't even have to touch it.
Invasive. Wow.
Interesting, isn't it?
So, it's a bit scary to think
it
about.
Is. That's a poison ivy plant.
And I've seen poison ivy in so many variations. Like you said, it can be a vine, it can grow up things. I've seen it red, green, with the white berries in the winter. It can just be the stalk, and you can still get poison ivy just from touching the stalk.
Yes. Interestingly enough, if you are allergic to poison ivy one year, you may not be allergic another year. 93% are allergic to poison ivy. Only 7%, as Europeans, 7% are immune to it. In indigenous cultures, especially in the Anishinaabe people, 93% are immune to it, and 7% are allergic to it.
Lucky, I guess.
Isn't that interesting? They've evolved.
More exposure over time to it. Yeah.
Interesting plant. So it is a protector.
Yes.
And it's also our nemesis. The animals, the birds love it. We don't.
Yes.
But so what?
I can
this
agree
is
with
their
that.
home.
Yep. And it belongs here. So.
Yes, it does. But let it be. Leaves are 3.
Leave it be. All right. Well, thank you for that, Gino. That was very informative.
Now, should I touch that tip?
Don't touch it. No.
Leave it alone.